Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you. Today we're gonna talk about how to rename a variable in Visual Studio Code. So let me start this application. It's a React Native application. Now, so the way that we all know it is that you are going to find this variable and you are going to find every time this variable was mentioned. So for example, colors was mentioned here also. So what you are going to do is that you are going to rename this to color, for example, and then rename this to color. And now the application won't break, it's working perfectly. So this is the way that we all know it, but actually Visual Studio has another way to do it. Instead of doing manually, you can do it automatically. So you just have to right click, a rename symbol, and then you change this, for example, to make it start with underscore, for example. So underscore colors will be underscore colors. So now when we press here, now as we can see here, the application did not break. The application is working fine. Again, to rename the variable, right click, rename symbol here, and then you rename it to the names that you would like to do. So what does Visual Studio Code do when you do that? So basically it just looks for this variable, looks for every time, it automatically finds every time this variable was mentioned in all the files, and then it renames this variable. So this let's take another example that will work across files, several files. So basically let's take a look at this variable, for example, use app colors. It comes from this theme, use app colors, and then it's imported from here, exported from here, from index, and then I use the Module Resolver to import it globally from here, add themes, and then I used it here. So basically let's imagine we would like to rename this variable. Right click again, rename symbol, and then let's make it start, for example, let's make it start with underscore, and then we press enter, and then we go here, and then as we can see here, it was exported as he does Visual Studio Code does this. So we just rename this also, we must rename this also. So this was also renamed. So let's look at home. Use app colors now starts with underscore, use app colors. It was renamed all across the application, and it's renamed across the applications. Application is still working, no problem. So let's look at the files that have changed. Home has changed, use app colors, and use app colors. Index has changed, use app colors. Oh, I haven't removed the as variable. So let's just remove as something. Let's just keep it the way it is. So index was changed, index was modified. Use app colors became use app colors became underscore use app colors. Also home, use app colors became underscore use app colors every time. Theme, the variable itself, use app colors. And then also a file that we have not even it was closed, it was not open, so it was renamed from use app colors to underscore use app colors, again underscore use app colors, again underscore use app colors. It was renamed all across the files. So what does Visual Studio Code do when you press the rename symbol is that it automatically, not manually, find this variable where it was mentioned, and then it renames all the mentions of this variable. And as we can see here, the application is still working, it hasn't broken. So this is the feature of rename symbol. As we can see here, it was renamed. So basically Visual Studio does this to all specifically in JavaScript and TypeScript environment because of the package.json. So this is the package, and he knows exactly every file here, and he went to every file, and then he find where this variable was mentioned, where it was imported, where it was exported, and then he renamed all the files here. That was it for today's video. I'm not sure if it's gonna work on a Python environment, but definitely it works well in a JavaScript TypeScript environment. That was it for today's video. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time. Assalamu alaikum.